Hey, what's up, Browns fans? This is Josh here from the Dawgs podcast. Couldn't get everybody together for this quick little video, but we just really wanted to hit you all with our take on everything that came down today with the ruling with Deshaun Watson. We've been waiting so long, and we've been saying every week there's got to be something. We got to know this week. We got to know, and then every week goes by, and we just don't get an answer. But today, we got our answer. So we're just going to break it down real quick here. And then on our next episode, later this week, we will actually break down everything in a lot more detail. So basically today, what came out, former United States District Judge from Delaware, Sue Robinson. I just want to make sure everybody knows who she is, former United States District Judge from Delaware. She issued her recommendation that Deshaun Watson should receive a 6-game suspension for his violation of the NFL's personal conduct policy following accusations of sexual misconduct. So it's important to note, I think, that the suspension is not for the sexual misconduct, it's for the violation of the NFL's policy against sexual misconduct. So it's not illegal. This is not a legal thing. This is the NFL's policy. We'll get to that in a second, but I've seen a lot of garbage out there on the interwebs today. There's just too much public opinion claiming that he should have been suspended longer for all his assaulting of women and things. And I mean, Deshaun Watson has never been convicted of or even charged with sexual assault. And like I said, the suspension is for his violation of the conduct policy. So Sue Robinson's full 16-page report came out. I've only had a chance to skim read it, but we're definitely going to all read it in depth before our next episode so we can break it down in full. But basically, she ruled that Deshaun Watson more than likely violated the NFL's policy against sexual assault, which is, again, important to note that this is the NFL's definition of sexual assault, which is not the same as the legal definition. So this doesn't mean that he legally committed any crime or any sexual assault. So if you see people saying that, they're wrong. He violated the NFL's definition of sexual assault in their personal conduct policy. And actually, not even that he violated it, just that the burden of proof was more than likely that the NFL's definition of sexual assault was violated. I know it's very wordy and everything, but I'm just trying to be as technical about this as possible. But like I said, we'll break that down a little more later this week. Just to recap, I think it was back in June, Watson settled with 20 of his 24 accusers. And then recently, just yesterday, he settled with 3 of the remaining 4. As a side note here, just a reminder, the Houston Texans also settled with 30 women who had civil suits brought against them last month. And so we're watching to see what sort of punishment the Houston Texans organization receives, since obviously, according to Twitter, settling means you're guilty. All those sudden instant legal experts out there on the web. Just one last thing that we've covered many times on the show is just getting a little frustrating going over this over and over. But, if you want to argue against Deshaun Watson, that's fine. But if you're going to do so and call him a rapist or call us supporters of rapists, then I'm sorry, but your argument is instantly void. And it's not even worth talking to, because Deshaun Watson has never been accused of rape, just like he's never been convicted or even charged of sexual assault. He's never even been accused of rape. So without any legal evidence whatsoever to support the sexual misconduct claims that have been brought against him, all those accusations, I mean, you can't even call him a sexual predator. He has no evidence against him whatsoever for any of these things. So if you see people saying that kind of stuff, I guess my advice, our advice is from the podcast would be just kind of ignore it, let them go about their way, because you're not going to change their mind. But if you've been following the case like we have, you've been following the situation, you've been reading all the reports, and you just know and understand what's going on, then and understand what's going on. So I don't really need to explain too much more than that. So let's just go back to football here. If the 6-game suspension holds, Watson can still practice and participate in the preseason. He will be eligible to return to the Browns for practice for the second half of his suspension, and that will be starting in week 4 of the NFL season. So as of now, the NFL has 3 days to decide if it wants to appeal the suspension. And so basically the news today is very insightful and helpful so we know what's probably going to happen this season, but it is definitely not a final ruling. And like I said, I know the news just dropped today. But we'll be dropping our new episode this week on Thursday. So by then we should know pretty well if the NFL will appeal or not. And until then, I guess, just stay tuned to our social media. Like I've been saying, try to avoid all the keyboard attorneys who just woke up here at noon and think that they know everything all of a sudden. And to all you Browns fans out there, we're going to break down just exactly how this season looks with Watson missing 6 games, as long as that's still the case come Thursday. But at this point, knowing that a 0-game suspension was pretty unlikely to happen, the news we got today should be considered a pretty positive outcome. I mean, our roster is loaded, and we are totally capable of surviving 6 games without Watson. We are in good hands with Jacoby Brissett and, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, our run game, mixed in with the defense that we have right now. It should give everybody a lot of positive vibes heading into the season. So really appreciate everybody watching, and we will see you guys again on Thursday. Go Browns.
What's going on, Browns fans? The action never ends at DraftKings Sportsbook, especially this summer. With tons of ways to bet on all your favorite sports, you can fuel your fandom and feel the heat of the season like never before. Plus, right now, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving new customers a risk-free bet up to $1,000. It's a lot of dough. That's right. Make your first bet up to $1,000, and if it doesn't win, you'll get another shot to cash in. You can throw down on all the major action on baseball, golf, MMA, and more. Plus, with same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, over-unders, and props, your betting options never feel endless. Best of all, DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TPPN. Make your first deposit and get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. That's promo code TPPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Look forward to betting with you soon, and minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. God bless.